morning, everyone. And a big welcome to all of you on this beautiful New England day. As chair of the board, let me be the very first to officially say congratulations to the great class of 2024. Well done. I do have another message for you soon-to-be graduates of Walnut Hill. And in it, I want to make 3 points. 1, you are so very fortunate to be born artists with creative sensibilities. 2, the end of anything is always the beginning of something else. And 3, a little advice. Embrace Walnut Hill as you go through life. It will often be the key experience that shapes who you are and what you will become. As to the first point, you are indeed fortunate to be born artists, people with creative minds who can see and represent the world in a different way, seeing through and around subjective and objective reality, seeing the world differently than others, and always with an uncanny ability to move secondary school education at Walnut Hill, and I hope you are ready to go forth and pursue those aspirations, dreams, and opportunities. To be on stage, in concert halls, in galleries, in books, and on screens everywhere. But remember, other passions apart from the arts, other opportunities, other dreams will also come to the fore as you go forth in life. Your life will be full of endings and new beginnings. And you may not end up where you thought you will be when you started. In fact, I would challenge anyone over the age of 30 in this tent to say they are where they thought they'd be at age 18. Instead, many of you will choose different paths away from the arts because of you, and you will do so because of your innate talent and creativity, mixed with your interests, your passions, and needs of the time. Which brings me to my third point. Embrace Walnut Hill. No matter where you go, what you do, and whether or not you ultimately pursue the arts, embrace Walnut Hill as the foundation of the meaningful development of your celebrated artistry and creativity, and your unique approach to your profession, regardless of its centrality in the arts. Most importantly, though, come back as a loyal alum and celebrate who you are and who you and your classmates have become. I've heard more than once, with a little bit of disappointment, I have to say, that alums that are not in the arts are often reticent to come back because they feel they failed the mission or themselves. And I am here today to say to you nothing could be further from the truth, because you are, first and foremost, artists. Artistry and creativity may not dictate all your life choices, but it is who you are. And being an artist with artistic training will forever inform how you do what you are going to do. As a case in point, we currently have 8 alums on the board of trustees who absolutely adore this school. It was transformational for them. and every one of them have said so to me and to most everyone on the board. We have a Juilliard-trained dancer. We have internationally acclaimed pianist among their ranks. We have some very accomplished alums on the board. But of those seven, of those eight, only one is a working artist, or even in the arts. But of those seven remaining, none would change anything. For example, we have two lawyers on the board. The first, a bankruptcy lawyer, directly credits Walnut Hill for her known creativity for solving complex problems as they arise, and therefore her success in her career. And the other, when standing before judge and jury and preparing to deliver remarks, said she does not channel her law school training, but rather she goes straight to Walnut Hill and her dance training for her preparation, her poise, and ultimately her performance. So my message today is this: pursue your dreams, and many of you will indeed go on to find success in the arts or arts-related endeavors. But passions, interests, and situations change. Embrace the new beginnings. I expect in concert halls and performance venues. But I am just as anxious to see the world change if you apply that innate artistry and creativity and the demanding artistic training that you have had here and may get elsewhere as you go forward to your chosen path, wherever that may take you. Remember, you were born artists, and no matter your profession or path, you will always be artists with a special place at Walnut Hill. And with that, congratulations again, and I wish you every success in life.
Good morning. I am over 18, hence the other glasses. Just give me a moment. Jenny, thank you so much. Greetings to you all, welcome, and thank you for traveling from all over the world to attend this ceremony. And welcome to those at home who are tuning into our live stream. I am humbled and honored to serve as your head of school in class of 2024. I'm thrilled to honor you today and express what you mean to all of us. It has truly been an extraordinary year, and you have truly been an extraordinary senior class. Today marks our 131st commencement ceremony, something we are so proud of. Walnut Hill's history and traditions are rich, and certainly commencement is our most cherished tradition. In 1893, Florence Bigelow purchased 30 acres on this beautiful hill from the Harwood family for $50,000 with a vision to create a unique education for young women of promise. With her colleague, Charlotte Conant, they turned a mansion, which is Stowe Hall, and carriage house and stables, which is Highland Hall, into a beautiful school that would launch generations of women into college and career paths that defied the politics of the time. Sometimes when I walk home from my office in Stowe, I envision Florence and Charlotte planting the 2 large beech trees in Stowe Circle 100 years ago, which actually happened. I certainly feel their influence all around our campus as I, as head of school, seek to respect and uphold their legacies. Florence and Charlotte began Walnut Hill in 1893 when they themselves did not have the right to vote. They would not be able to do so until 1920, 27 years after Walnut Hill was established. Think about that for one moment. 2 women who had an amazing vision for a school in a society that denied them basic rights. Walnut Hill was founded as a radical and brave act to provide access to a life-changing education for young women. And today we continue this bravery in providing you, the most promising young artists in the world, a transformative education where you don't have to hide, but rather celebrate who you are and who you are meant to be. One of my favorite Walnut Hill photos was taken in my office in Stowe. The first 8 graduates of the school who on June 14th, 1894, were conferred the honor that you will receive today. It has been 47,469 days from that moment to this moment. Thousands upon thousands of transformative moments on this beautiful hill. Today you join a prestigious group, over 5,000 Walnut Hill alumni, who profoundly impact our society in the arts and many other important professions, as Jenny said. You join artists, activists, astronauts, educators, entrepreneurs, scientists, and surgeons, among many others. In my conversations with Molly Dobson, class of 1940, Betsy McClendon from the class of 1965, Nicole Gakitas from the class of 1981, or Kiha An and Lisa Kress from the class of 2023, some things stay constant about the Walnut Hill experience. Friendship, joy, challenge, and growth. Investing in an education that will transform you and our world into the place we want it to be. But none of us made it to this day alone. Seniors, in order to celebrate you, it is vital for you to express deep gratitude to those who have helped you prepare for this exceptional moment in your lives. From the first moment of life until this moment, I know the journey of your parents and guardians to love you, raise you, educate you, and help you find your way to Walnut Hill has been filled with hard work, enormous amounts of sacrifice, and many sleepless nights of hope and anxiety. Joined with siblings, aunts, uncles, and grandparents, these amazing people allowed and encouraged you to take the leap to pursue your dream at attending Walnut Hill. Their dedication to and love for you is unrivaled, and I want to thank each and every one of your family members for sharing you with us. Please join me, seniors, to recognize all the family members without whom we would not be celebrating you today. One of the many things I love about your class is that you know how much of a true privilege it is to be here. You are not entitled. You see the world in abundance rather than scarcity. Possibilities instead of limitations. And a huge part of how you've been able to create such a beautiful worldview and mindset is because of the exceptional adults you have had at Walnut Hill as teachers, mentors, and guides. To work at a boarding school for the arts is all-consuming. It is not just a job. It is a calling. You would not be moving on to the amazing next chapter of your lives without their level of dedication, caring, and uncompromising high standards, right? Very high standards. Please join me in thanking and recognizing Walnut Hill faculty, staff, and dorm parents for their Herculean efforts in providing you with a world-class education, taking care of you around the clock, and launching you all to become young adults of passion, promise, and purpose. Thank you, colleagues. Class of 2024, you have had an exceptional journey unlike any generation in over a century. In 8th grade, one of the most important years of your development as a human being, you faced a global disaster that drastically disrupted your education, your relationships, and for many of you, your well-being. Your time at Walnut Hill has been one of reclaiming your humanity, your identity, and your purpose. To say you are resilient is a gross understatement. To watch you grow and flourish here after experiencing such grave hardship is nothing short of an inspiration for all of us. Each of you are brave. Each of you are strong. Each of you have found your voice, and in the future, books will be written about the challenges your generation faced as young people, and how 2 years of despair were turned into decades of joy, hope, and positive change. Please know how much each of us here today love and admire you. Seniors, I'm not ready for you to leave, and I know many adults on the Hill that feel the same. You will be sorely missed tomorrow, next week, and next year. After watching you grow for the last 2 years, I want to share with you what I see as the defining attribute of your class that has truly enriched our school community. And that attribute is hopeful. As a class, you are an immensely hopeful group of students. And one of the reasons we have had such an amazing year together is this indisputable trait. When you arrived on this campus, you were hopeful that Walnut Hill would embrace you and help you heal from a global pandemic, that you would find your people, feel included, and experience the joy of true belonging. You were hopeful that you would find an oasis to build lifelong friendships, pursue your artistic passions, and grow as a young intellectual. And this year, you were patiently, incredibly patient, poised, and hopeful as you applied to colleges, conservatories, and ballet companies, garnering an impressive list of acceptances that we have not seen in some time. You never lead with your incredible accomplishments. Rather, you lead with your smiles, love, modesty, and support of one another's accomplishments. Thank you for that. My colleagues have shared with me that your class has had the strongest friendships across all of the 5 majors in at least a decade. You should be really proud of that. Your support and love for one another is something we all feel deeply, and you see your identity as an artist as a way to be inclusive, not exclusive, to bring others in rather than push them away. This is something I implore you to do after your time at Walnut Hill. The way you show up for one another in classrooms, at assembly, performances, and exhibitions is truly inspiring. As student leaders, with Soleil and Sienna as your voice and conscience as a class, you have been incredible role models for our students and adults alike, consistently emanating hope and positivity. You have given me unvarnished and overwhelmingly constructive advice, thank goodness, and counsel about your experience at Walnut Hill. You've pushed administrators to increase the number of affinity groups to the highest in our history, broadening the ability for you to gather in community by the identities that define you and that you hold most dear. And the deep reservoirs of hope that define you as a class sustained our entire community as we grieved together at the death of our beloved Donna Chung, class of 2025. It was a heartbreaking April as we mourned her passing together, and the way you took care of yourselves and one another will be something I will remember forever. Even though we will all miss you deeply, the hopefulness that you exhibit as a class is something that will stay in our community while it is about to be unleashed into the world. The hope that you hold in your hearts is what our world desperately needs right now. You reject polarization and cynicism and embrace love and possibility. Keep doing that. Hope is your fuel and has the power to change the communities you will join this fall as you move on from Walnut Hill. And I want you to remember this. To be hopeful is not to be naive. It is a sign of strength, resolve, and faith in what it means to be human. In your next chapter, you will encounter people who wish to drain you of this most precious gift for our society. Do not give in. With all of the conflict and pain in our world, combining your hopefulness with the power of your artistic expression is a superpower that will change the world. So don't back away from that superpower. Lean into it and make sure it serves you and those who have not had the privilege of a Walnut Hill education. Use your hopefulness to change the hearts and minds of those who wish to silence marginalized voices. Use it to build community, respect, and understanding. And use it to preserve and heal our precious planet. I know that your generation feels enormous pressure to fix the mistakes that my and prior generations have made that have the gravest of implications for our future. But please know that every day you are already part of the solution by holding hope and optimism for today and every day that you are privileged to walk upon this earth. In the year 2125, 131 years from now, 47,469 days from now, your impact will be part of the shared elevation of the human race to our highest potential, and also a cherished contribution to the legacy of our treasured Walnut Hill. So, seniors, you are the most valuable resource that our world needs right now and into the future. At Walnut Hill, you learn to love yourself, love others, love your work, and love a community so deeply. You have accomplished so much during your time here and have friendships and artistic relationships that will last a lifetime. You are leaving behind a beautiful legacy of creativity, compassion, leadership, and growth. The bar has been set incredibly high for all the cohorts of students who will follow in your footsteps. I want to thank you for choosing Walnut Hill and ask that you never lose touch with us. We are always here for you. We care deeply for you, and from the bottom of our hearts, remember this: you are our treasure and our greatest hope. Congratulations, and my deepest gratitude to you and your families. Thank you.
to friends, family, and fellow graduates. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak today. Public speaking has always intimidated me, but with opportunities like this, I feel safe stepping outside my comfort zone. That's one of the countless lessons that Walnut Hill has taught me. By starting each day with an open mind and willingness to push boundaries, success is magnetic. I'd like you, my classmates, to bring that into your next chapters. Whether you're on your way to college, conservatory, or company, everyone here has captivating talent and drive. This is only the beginning, so thank you. And to all the family and friends who came from near and far in support, you deserve to be celebrated too. We may be wearing the cap and gown, but you wear the badge of honor. I know that I couldn't be up here, let alone the school, without my parents. Not a day goes by where I'm not grateful for their support. We're the generation that faces the burden of being expected to save the world, but we can't do it without those who came before us. It is with tremendous honor and excitement that I get to share this day and stage with you. We all left middle school in a haze of unknowns and slept through Zoom classes. We weren't sure what high school would look like, but we hoped to at least spend it out of our houses and pajamas. Learning has never been a solitary activity, but with extreme perseverance, we finally made this experience all feel post-pandemic instead of post-apocalyptic. It's easy to say we've made it, but the voyage has been far from easy. There have been challenges faced, adversities overcome, and mistakes made. At the moment, these felt detrimental. We walked back to our room or drove home, replaying the moments that went wrong. We saw it when we closed our eyes for sleep, and again when we woke up, ready to start fresh. Days, weeks, or even months felt like ages. We allowed ourselves to believe there was no light at the end of the tunnel. But look at yourself and those around you, and know that you got there. You realize that your passions were real and worth the side effects. Along the way, you dreamt big, followed your intuitions, and trusted yourself. We come from Walnut Hill, an establishment that celebrates outside-the-box thinking, providing us with the toolkit we need going forward. From 4 to 1-year senior, you found the courage to embrace the enormous change that coming here would bring. We learned how to not listen to the naysayers, all while forming a sense of self that will only add to each of your individually beautiful futures. My first day at Walnut Hill was in the middle of our sophomore year. I didn't talk much, hardly at all. I was under the impression that everyone knew what they wanted and how they would get there. It seemed like I was behind artistically, academically, and especially socially. In time, my worries began to subside as I made strides in my work and formed some of the best friendships I've ever had. Whether or not your experience aligned with mine, we all ended up on the same level through perseverance and persistence. Our highs have been high, our lows sometimes really low. Through our storm, one thing has remained stationary for each of us. Someone by your side, a brief check-in, a high five, or even just a kind smile. I know that when I first arrived here, I was terrified by the prospect of loneliness. Not long after, I found myself not worrying so much. In a community like this, there has always been someone listening to what I have to say. From this, I have learned so much from so many people that I see right now. Maybe it's been in art classes, the ATC, or the dining hall. All I know is that I'll be leaving the Hill with more knowledge about this world than I ever thought I would by the age of 18. Additionally, I wanted to speak a little bit about hope. I didn't have any at the beginning of my high school career, but I'm grateful every day that I found it. Some days are always more challenging than others, but when I surround myself with good people and habits, I'm getting better. If by this point you haven't already, I think you all should find a spot within yourselves to fill with hope. Everyone I see, graduates, faculty, friends, and family deserve a spark, one that keeps them going day after day. Much of that spark I found on this campus, and although we're leaving, I don't plan on letting go of these memories. They say that this is the time we'll want to remember for the rest of our lives. And I didn't believe it until I wanted to pin moments like this to a bulletin board and stare at it. These days and nights, I wish I could frame and hang above my fireplace, but this is how it starts, a singular piece of art in an empty gallery. As excited as I am to turn the page to a new chapter in my life, I'm just as eager to follow yours and indulge in the fantastic things I know you will be doing. Until then, I hope you're satisfied and even content where you stand today. Every accomplishment and milestone has led to this moment, so take it in with a sigh of relief and a pat on the back because you did it. And I'm so proud of every one of you. This is the last time we will all be sharing this space together, and I know that that can come with a lot of varying emotions. But a Walnut Hill senior is not the typical senior. Our bonds and understanding of one another branch farther than most. We've lived together and we've loved together. I don't want this to be a forever goodbye. As I said, I want to see your journeys and celebrate your accomplishments. Not for ourselves alone, non obi solum. Thank you so much. My name is Lily Fonseca, and this is the class of 2024.
Hello, my name is Olivia Robinson, and I'm a theater major with the class of 2025.
My name is Amani Allen. I'm a theater major of class of 2025.
And we're joined by Sam Sheba, who's a music major with 2026, and Kevin Smith, our director of enrollment here at Walnut Hill. Back in January, we were put in a group together in our J-term songwriting class, and over the course of 3 days, we came up with this little project. We wanted to write a song that would be relatable to all, no matter where you are in your walk of life, relating to nostalgia on growing up and leaving a place that you call your chosen home. And we recorded it all together and performed at the Head's House, and now we're here with you today. So thank you for trusting us. Thank you for having us. We're so grateful, and congratulations, class of 2024.
Like the colors of the wind, my heart yearns to see where they may go. Once the sky was clear as day, freedom was worth much more. As the years grow older, life became a chore.
Now I turn back, so much more to say. Walking up the path, 12 years of the road. Sit back, relax, it'll be alright. My sun's not bright enough to light my rainy days, but now I'm grown up, I'm getting old. All this change is beyond my control. The tides pull the weight, I retrace the days of when life was pure and I was here to stay. And now I try to navigate the storm as I make my way to the next port. As the moon goes down, the sun will rise, knowing that one day I'll desire to stay. Oh, oh, what if life is leading me to the eyes that I can't see? Freedom that's not really free. What then happens to me?
Now I turn back, so much more to say. Walking up the path, 12 years of the road. Sit back, relax, it'll be alright. My sun's not bright enough to light my rainy day.
tides pull the weight. I retrace the days of when life was pure and I was here to stay. And now I try to navigate the storm as I make my way to the next port. A cap and gown, a relief to some. How does one begin to say goodbye to the home they love? I was raised here, all my time and hopes, and I'd become almost 18. Tides pull the weight. I retrace the days of when life was pure and I was here to stay. And now I try to navigate the storm as I make my way to the next port. To the eyes that I can't see, freedom that's not really free. What then happens to me?
Oh my. They had to put that song in front of me. I've never listened to that song without crying. And this morning was no different. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much, graduates. Good morning, invited guests, faculty, proud families, and the amazing graduates of 2024. It is an honor to be here with you today to celebrate this special moment and to share some parting thoughts with you. 10 years ago, I arrived at Walnut Hill, and the diversity office was located in the admissions building. I was excited to work in such a cozy, home-like office space and to work alongside incredible colleagues. They welcomed me to Walnut Hill, and before I knew it, I was not only sharing office space with them, but occasionally greeting students and families And over time, I began to read a few admission files and engage in light admissions work. 5 years later, I began to meet many of you. You see, Walnut Hill understood that building a diverse community includes paying attention to equity, inclusion, and belonging. And that work begins before arriving on campus. And so with great intentionality, I began to read more and more admission files, view portfolios, and assist in interviewing students. I remember fondly reviewing many of your materials. Your class is the first Walnut Hill group I helped to recruit. Atlanta, yeah, you can go ahead and clap. Atlanta, hot Atlanta as it was that weekend, was my very first out-of-state recruitment trip. I was definitely more nervous meeting all of you than I think you were meeting me. I dropped a few brochures, last minute couldn't find a pen to write with, and absolutely needed water for my dry mouth. Little did I know, it was just the beginning of my meeting so many of you, your mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles, grandparents, siblings, yes, and even over the years, talking to a few of your guidance counselors. We have 34-year seniors this year, one of our largest groups yet. And I couldn't wait to begin welcoming you to campus. Then the pandemic hit. So instead of August, some of you 4-year seniors arrived late October, Q2, and more of you arrived months later during Q3. Since then, Walnut Hill has remained in person, and over the years, 48 more of you arrived. Some of you were mid-years, and a handful of you arrived just this year as 1-year seniors. As I look out at you, class of 2024, you are the student body that I dreamt of, that I hoped for, that I prayed for, and that I began planning for 10 years ago. And so it is a particular honor this morning to stand before you and all of your guests to share with you a few parting thoughts. If you've spent any time in my office, you know that a not so quiet secret on this campus is that I love giraffes. They are my spirit animal. A quieter secret is that I am enamored with butterflies. There are so many lessons that I have learned throughout my life studying them, watching them, and I might add, fun times at the zoo feeding them. Therefore, this morning I would like to share with you Mama Linda's 7 essential life lessons learned from the butterfly and the giraffe. 1, each of you has a unique superpower. Butterflies have a superpower. They can vanish with camouflage or distract with a blaze of color. Giraffes also have a superpower. They are the world's tallest mammal. Superpowers, whether in the Marvel Universe, Animal Kingdom, or as metaphors for exceptional human capabilities, capture the essence of aspiration and potential. They remind us of the extraordinary within the ordinary and inspire us to strive for greatness in our own lives. Class of 2024, I've seen up close many of your superpowers. You possess healing powers. I have seen how you were sometimes too sick to go to morning class, but miraculously, you were healed for your afternoon arts classes and for a performance. seriously. You are a class full of resilience, empathy, and creative geniuses who have an exceptional ability to create and inspire. And you are leaders. You have the ability to influence and lead people. 2, embrace your differences. Be exactly who you are. No two butterflies or giraffes are exactly the same. Did you know there are approximately 17,500 species of butterflies and 9 subspecies of giraffes? Each insect, each animal, though they look the same, on closer inspection has different patterns and colors. They are all surprisingly different, and so too are you. Embrace your differences. You are beautiful. 3, stand tall. I have to remind myself of that every now and then as I get older. Giraffes take advantage of their natural characteristics to establish a commanding presence. Their legs are over 6 feet and their necks are up to 7 feet long. Some people describe them as looking weird. That is a word I have often heard many of you describe yourselves. That is how I felt as a middle schooler and a high schooler, and how the giraffe became my spirit animal. Some of my peers teased me, and I know that some of you know a little bit about that. And they told me that I looked like a giraffe. It definitely wasn't meant to be a compliment. I was tall and had very long, skinny legs and knobby knees. I was also a flute player who had asthma. We just can't make that combination up. I was definitely an awkward high schooler. My flute teacher suggested I engage in a sport for fun that would advantage my leg length and help build my wind capacity and stamina. I started running and playing tennis. I developed physical strength and self-confidence. And for the first time, I began to feel beautiful. Oh, and along my journey to becoming a professional musician, I won a few high jump competitions, medaled at Madison Square Garden in the Fred Thompson Track and Field Youth Games. And this is what I was doing all the way in high school. I won a few tennis tournaments and learned that I could make a living coaching and running summer youth tennis programs for Columbia University when I wasn't performing, and could even earn extra money modeling. I still don't show my children those pictures. I don't know every natural characteristic that each of you may be feeling self-conscious about or will come to harness over the next few years, but this I know. Each of you has an endearing natural characteristic. It's okay to love baking and cooking and running and snowboarding, meditating, gardening, or whatever it is that brings you joy. My mother always encouraged me that I could do it all. I just couldn't do it all at the same time. Remember your characteristics and all of your interests because they enhance you and it adds to your beauty. So number 3, stand tall in it. And number 4, stick your neck out. Giraffes are social animals. They live in groups called towers. They also have long, strong necks which give them an almost half-mile view of incoming dangers. Yet they also must behave individually, show vulnerability, and stick their necks out to reach tall trees to eat. I've often thought that all too often, though we too may see dangers and have a strong awareness of right and wrong, that too often we are swayed. We are swayed by a crowd, and we engage in groupthink. So graduates, don't be afraid to show your individuality and your strength of character. Speak up and be an upstander rather than a bystander. Call out the bad stuff, whether it's in person or online. Get to know different people than yourself. Make time for self-reflection. Learn your family traditions and those of others. Celebrate and embrace diverse perspectives. Don't push them away. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Brené Brown says, the courage to be vulnerable is not about winning or losing. It's about the courage to show up. And it's also the birthplace of joy, of creativity, of belonging, of love. So I encourage you, be an independent thinker. Take a risk to survive and thrive. 5, embrace change. Maya Angelou said, we delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely acknowledge the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. I have learned that over time that many of you have gone through much to achieve the beauty that you possess today. And I've learned that if nothing changes, nothing changes. Butterflies go through 4 cycles to become the beautiful insect we see. Today, you are completing a cycle at Walnut Hill like the early cycle of a butterfly. Your time here has been filled with taking in knowledge, exploring ideas, and filling yourself with friendships and all types of nourishment and knowledge that will help you throughout your life. While change can at times feel painful and sad, it is a valuable part of shedding and expanding and becoming. 6, use your talents and superpowers for good. They provide a privilege and an advantage in a world that is desperate for you. Desperate for you. A creative and intellectually curious young artist, a walnut. In the words of Spider-Man, with great power comes responsibility. And so I encourage you to use your superpowers for good. 7, perhaps the most important, rest. Live your life like a butterfly. Take a rest sometimes. Butterflies find shelter and rest during storms for self-preservation. Did you know that raindrops can damage a butterfly's wings? Did you know that if a butterfly gets too wet, their wings become too heavy to fly and they are vulnerable to predators? In the midst of a storm, a butterfly learns to remain still until the water evaporates. They bask in the sun to dry their wings. Graduates, what is your happy place? Where is your hiding place? Make sure you find shelter and rest in the midst of life's storms. In closing, watching you grow and achieve over the past years has been a privilege. Today, you step into a world full of opportunities and challenges. I hope these words of advice help you. I hope you will come to know your superpowers, embrace your differences, stand tall, stick your neck out, embrace change, trust the process, and use your talents and superpowers for good and rest. I encourage you before you rest, after you rest, in between rests, to just flutter. Flap your wings with enthusiasm. Move, fly, vibrate, flick and flitter, vibrate, and like the character Gerald in Giraffes Can't Dance, one of my favorite books, just dance. You see, Gerald had to shake off self-doubt and be confident in knowing that he was prepared to meet the moment. Class of 2024, you are prepared to meet the moment. Sprinkle the world with music and dance and drama, writing, film, photography, fashion, visual arts with your artistry, whatever it is. And remember, stay curious, be kind, and never stop learning. Spread grace, beauty, and kindness. Your journey is just beginning. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Alana Akinch. Elizabeth Buckley Ambrose. Gael Rodriguez. Victoria Margaret Baker. Andrew James Ball. Simone Barber. Sydney Barbour. Catherine Betts.
Cartier. Lev Cornwall. Reagan Jane Crosby. Jordan Crotty. Tyler Dandridge. Sienna Naraya DeBurrow. Etong Tony Deng. Faith Bernadette Dolan. Fong Hung Du. Nick Fair. Brooke Ingrid Fallon. Lily Rose Fonseca. Valeria Franco. Jayla Madison Glover. Callie Ann Green. James Darby Green. Charlotte Gunn O'Neill. Anshi Guo. Alan Gervitz. Nora Harris. Daniel Hotchkiss. Samuel Chiedu Igbo. Jessica Kadawijaya. Sehyeon Kim. Piper King. Sarah Corey. Caden Wiles Crowder. John Hao Lee. Chin Yi Cynthia Lin. Jacob Walter Long. Marley Isabella Mateka. Lucas Finn Miller. Mark Robert Mumford. Caitlin Jean Muniz. Angelina Musso. Carolyn Teresa Nakawungo Batabaye. Angeli Paul. Julia Pellin. Owen Price. Emily Jean Radke. Gabrielle Isabella Robinson. Ariadna Ruiz. Arkita Amber Sewe. Alexa Marie Sarig. Jihei Shin. Jordan Sides. Van Smith. Jiu Jamie Sup. Coral Sa'un Song. Madison Stroik. Suri Tao.
Katarina Teresi. Robert J. Titsworth. Aubrey Storm Townsend. Mabel Tynes. Soleil Ariana Bales. Kayla Wakau. Cecilia Adrian Walker. Lauren Marie Welch. Yushin Rosie Wong. Sophia Anna Wheeler. Ting Yi Wu. Binglin Billy Young. Jerham Tina Young. Saya Catherine Yu. Isabella Zeshe Zong. Zhang Yuan Zhao. Micah Zhu. Jiayi Stella Zhu.
Class of 2024, please rise. We're going to miss you. Our school motto, non nobis solum, means not for ourselves alone. Class of 2024, I charge you with this. You didn't make it to this moment alone, and you will continue to lean on one another as you move on into this next chapter of your lives. Please turn your tassels to officially become Walnut Hill graduates. Friends, family, colleagues, I give you the class of 2024.